Good afternoon, students. Today's session is for GNM Nursing first year students. The topic is Anatomy and Physiology of Pancreas. So, this is a picture showing the pancreas. This is the second picture showing pancreas. So, what is a pancreas? It is a pale gray gland. It is a gland and it is situated in the epigastric region also and the left hypochondric region. As you all know, we have 9 regions in the abdomen. In the pancreas lies in the epigastric region and the left hypochondric region. It is 60 grams of weight. It has a length of 12 to 15 centimeter and the thickness of 1.5 centimeter. The gland has 3 parts. First is head, second is body, and third is tail. So let's discuss about these 3. In this diagram, you can see the pancreas, the head, the body, and the tail. Head lies in the curve of the duodenum. As I show the image, the head lies in the curve of the duodenum. The body is behind the stomach, but the tail lies in front of the left kidneys and just reaches the spleen. In this diagram, you can see the head of the portion lies in the curve of the duodenum. Then the body lies behind the stomach and the tail reaches to the spleen and it is in front of the left kidney. Now the pancreas is made up of cells. These cells are glandular epithelial cells. Okay. 99% of these cells are known as acini and 1% of these are the pancreatic islets of Langerhans. So, the 99% of the cells are acini and they have a function which is known as exocrine. Exocrine means these cells will secrete their secretions into the ducts, various ducts which are present. So, the cells within acini secrete the pancreatic juice. Now, the remaining 1% are called pancreatic islets or the islets of Langerhans and they have the endocrine function. There is a difference between exocrine function and the endocrine function. In the exocrine function, there are ducts present, while in the endocrine, there are no ducts. So, in the exocrine, the secretions will be secreted directly into the ducts, while in the endocrine, the secretions are secreted directly into the blood and the body fluid. As I told you, acini cells secrete the pancreatic juice, but the pancreatic islets or islets of Langerhans secrete the hormones. These are 4 hormones. First is glucagon, second is insulin, third is somatostatin, and the fourth is pancreatic polypeptide. This diagram is showing the acini and the pancreatic islets. So in the yellow portion, all the cells are acini and inside of the yellow portion there are the cells known as pancreatic islets. Here there are alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells and the F cells. So acini is exocrine but pancreatic islets is endocrine portion. In the endocrine we have 4 type of cells: alpha, beta, delta and the F cells. I told you that acini cells produces pancreatic juice, but the alpha cells produces glucagon hormone, the beta cells produces insulin hormone, the delta cell produces somatostatin and the F cell produces pancreatic polypeptide. We will discuss about this exocrine function and the endocrine function in detail. First is exocrine pancreas. So pancreatic juice is produced by the acini cells. Each day approximately 1200 to 1500 ml of pancreatic juice is produced. It is clear and it is colorless, and it contains water, salts, sodium bicarbonate, and various enzymes. We will discuss about these enzymes. So there are various enzymes in the pancreatic juice. First is pancreatic amylase. What is the function of this enzyme? This enzyme is a starch digesting enzyme. It means it breaks down the carbohydrate into the glucose. Second enzymes, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, and the elastase. These are protein digesting enzymes. It means they will break down the protein into the amino acids. Third enzyme is pancreatic lipase. This pancreatic lipase is a triglyceride digesting enzyme. It means it will break down the fat, that is triglycerides, into the monosaccharides or the free fatty acids. Next, ribonuclease and the deoxyribonuclease. These are nucleic acid digesting enzymes. Okay, so the pancreatic juice has 4 types of enzymes. These are pancreatic amylase, lipase, trypsin, and the ribonuclease and the deoxyribonuclease. This diagram is showing the ducts. So you can see here the pancreas has 2 types of ducts, accessory ducts and the pancreatic duct. The accessory duct is also known as duct of Santorini, while the pancreatic duct is also known as duct of Wirsung. In the liver, we have 2 types of ducts, right hepatic duct and the left hepatic duct. They merge together and they form a common hepatic duct. This common hepatic duct merged with the cystic duct. This cystic duct comes from the gallbladder. So the common hepatic duct and the cystic duct come together, they merge together and they form a CBD, that is common bile duct. This common bile duct merged with the pancreatic duct and then it enters the duodenum, and this duct is called the hepatopancreatic ampulla, that is ampulla of water. So in this diagram we studied the 2 types of duct of the pancreas, accessory duct and the pancreatic duct. The common bile duct and the pancreatic duct enters the duodenum via the duct named as hepatopancreatic ampulla, that is ampulla of water. Now, endocrine pancreas. So in the endocrine pancreas we discussed that it is an endocrine gland. It secretes the 4 hormones. So we will discuss about these hormones in detail. So there are 4 cell types in the pancreatic islets. First is alpha or the A cells. These constitute about 17% of all the cells. 17% of these cells are the alpha or the A cells. And what is the function of these alpha cells? They secrete the glucagon. Then beta or the B cells, they constitute about 70%. So most of the cells of the pancreatic islet cells are the beta cells or the B cells, and what is their function? They secrete insulin hormone. Third, delta or the D cells. They constitute about 7% of the pancreatic islet cells and they secrete the somatostatin. Okay. Then F cells. These are remainder of the pancreatic islet cells, approximately 2 to 3%, and they secrete the pancreatic polypeptide. Now what is the function of each hormone? We will discuss about this. First, glucagon. The function of glucagon is that it increases blood glucose levels. The function of glucagon is it increases blood glucose level. How it increases blood glucose level? First is glycogenolysis. Glycogen, and lysis. Lysis means breakdown. So what is the function of glucagon? It will break down the glycogen into the glucose. So the glycogen will break down and form the glucose, and this happens in the liver and the skeletal muscles. Second is, it do the gluconeogenesis. In the glycogenolysis, the glycogen was break down, but in the gluconeogenesis, what is happening? The fat and the amino acids are break down into the glucose. They are converted into the glucose. So in this way, the blood glucose levels are increased. Now, if our blood glucose levels are low and if we do the exercise, in that conditions there will be the release of glucagon. But there are two hormones which inhibit the secretion of glucagon, that are somatostatin and the insulin. We will discuss about these hormones. Insulin. The glucagon function was to raise the blood glucose level, but the insulin function is to lower the raise blood glucose levels. Not only glucose, but it also lowers the amino acids and the fatty acid levels in the blood. So they have a opposing actions. Glucagon raise the blood glucose level, but insulin lowers the blood glucose level. But how? Insulin how lowers the blood glucose level? First, it will stimulate the muscles and the connective tissue to take up this glucose. So if the cells are taking up the glucose, it means the blood glucose levels will be reduced. Second is glycogenesis. So what is the function of insulin? It will convert the glucose into glycogen, and this is taking place in the liver and the skeletal muscles. So glucagon do the glycogenolysis, but insulin do the glycogenesis. So it is converting the glucose into the glycogen. Now insulin. It also accelerates the uptake of amino acids by the cells and synthesis of the protein. So it also synthesizes proteins. So in this way, the amino acids in the blood will be reduced because cells are taking up these amino acids. Then it also do lipogenesis. Lipo means fatty acids. So what does it do? It promotes the synthesis of fatty acids and store of the fat in the adipose tissue. Next is glycogenolysis. It decreases glycogenolysis. Glucagon increases glycogenolysis, but insulin decreases glycogenolysis, and it also prevents gluconeogenesis. What is gluconeogenesis? As I discussed before, it is the conversion of non-carbohydrate products, for example fats and the amino acid, into the glucose. So in this way, the insulin lowers the blood glucose levels. Now, the insulin, when it will be secreted if there is a increased blood glucose level. For example, after having meals, if there are increased amino acids and the fatty acids, if acetylcholine is released, or because of these hormones, these are gastrointestinal hormones named as gastrin, secretin and the cholecystokinin. So these GI hormones, the blood glucose increase levels, amino acids increase levels and the fatty acid increase levels, all these will cause the secretion of the insulin. What is the function of this gastrin? Gastrin stimulates the hydrochloride secretion by the parietal cells of the stomach. What is the function of secretin? It regulates the pH of the duodenum. What is the function of cholecystokinin? It stimulates the delivery of pancreatic enzyme from the pancreas and the bile from the gallbladder into the duodenum. So the insulin is secreted by increased blood glucose levels, increased amino acids levels, increased fatty acids levels because of acetylcholine release and because of GI hormones named as gastrin, secretin and the cholecystokinin. But its secretion will be decreased if these hormones are produced, for example glucagon, cortisol and the somatostatin and also adrenaline. Now what is the function of somatostatin? We discussed glucagon raises the blood glucose level, insulin lowers the blood glucose level, but somatostatin inhibit the secretion of both these hormones. These are insulin and the glucagon. And somatostatin also inhibit the secretion of growth hormone from the anterior pituitary. So these are the function of somatostatin. Next one, pancreatic polypeptide. What is the function of pancreatic polypeptide? It inhibits the somatostatin secretion, gallbladder contraction and secretion of digestive enzymes by the pancreas. So this is the endocrine pancreas, in which we discussed about 4 hormones, what are their function and how they reduces the blood glucose levels, lowers the blood glucose levels, whose main function is to maintain the normal blood glucose levels of the body. Next, arterial supply of the pancreas. The arterial supply is by the splenic artery, superior mesenteric artery, then gastroduodenal artery, then superior and the inferior pancreatoduodenal artery. But the main arteries are splenic artery and the superior mesenteric artery. So the main vascular supply is by the splenic artery and it also receives blood from the superior mesenteric artery, gastroduodenal artery and superior and inferior pancreaticoduodenal arteries. Now venous drainage. The venous drainage is by the splenic vein and the superior mesenteric vein, and then they enters the liver through the portal vein. This is the venous drainage, splenic vein and superior mesenteric vein, and then they will enter the liver through the portal vein. Next, what is the lymphatic drainage of the pancreas? So the pancreas has various lymph nodes: anterior pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes, posterior pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes, then superior mesenteric lymph nodes, then splenic lymph nodes. So all these lymph nodes are responsible for the lymphatic drainage. In the head and the neck there are pancreaticoduodenal lymph nodes which are draining. In the body and the tail there are pancreatico-splenic lymph nodes, and then all these lymph nodes will merge to the celiac lymph nodes and the superior mesenteric lymph nodes. Now what is the nerve supply? There are 3 nerve supplies of the pancreas. First is vagus nerve, second is thoracic splanchnic nerves, and third is celiac plexus. So in today's session we discuss about what is the anatomy and the physiology of the pancreas. So pancreas, it is a pale grey gland and it is present in the epigastric and the left hypochondric region, and it has a weight of 60 gram. It is a exocrine gland also and the endocrine glands also. It is exocrine because it secretes the pancreatic juice into the ducts, while it is endocrine because it secretes the 4 hormones. These are glucagon, insulin, somatostatin and the pancreatic polypeptide. Thank you.